Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Basketball bets for November 30th. Just sticking primarily with NBA today. Nothing on the college scene kind of screamed out at us. So we'll stick with the NBA as there is a ton of NBA games going on. First game up. Blazers, Cavaliers, Cavs, 12-point home favorite, roughly around 220 total. We don't have anything for this game. It's just kind of, like I said, it's hard to get a grip on what the Blazers have been doing. They've actually covered and won some games here as of late and being double-digit dogs. But we are going to stick away from that particular matchup. Next game up, there's a bunch of games at 540. So first one up, Hornets at the Nets. Nets 8.5-point favorite, 224 total. We really like the Nets. Nets have been a quality team for us to play on pretty much all season long. So we do like the Nets here, especially with, no telling how long LaMelo is going to be out. And I think that really just discombobulates the team as a lot of their offense flows through him. So we are going to take the Nets minus 2.5 first quarter, minus 4.5 first half, and minus 8.5 for the game. We're going back to Mikal Bridges over 33.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. We are going to attack his three-pointers tonight as their three-point defense for the Hornets. Hornets not good at all. So over 2.5 three-pointers made, and it was at plus 130 on DraftKings on that one. And then we're also going to take Brandon Miller over 1.5 turnovers. Obviously, with no Melo, there's going to be more guys handling the ball that they're not used to or accustomed to, which leads to more turnovers, and we're going to focus on that one. So once more time, Nets minus 2.5 first quarter, minus 4.5 first half, and minus 8.5 for the game. Mikal Bridges over 33.5 par and over 2.5 three-pointers, and then Brandon Miller over 1.5 turnovers in that particular matchup. Next one up, Pistons-Knicks. Knicks somewhere around a 14-plus point favorite, 219 total at home. The Pistons have went from like the first few games of the season to looking like they could actually do something this year to absolute disaster. We have one play in this game, Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points. Jalen can get his shot off against anybody, but you go against a team that's not really playing defense right now, and that's just going to help him even more. So Brunson over 24.5 points is going to be our only play in that Pistons and Knicks game. Next game up, Pacers at the Heat in South Beach. Pacers 2.5-point road dog, total around 238. I think the total might be a shade high, especially for if Miami controls any of the pace, which they will. They'll slow their end down if they can't slow them down. No question about that. We just like a couple plays in this particular game. Normally we're all over the Pacers, but we've only got two player props in this particular matchup, and they're both on the same guy, and you can guess who it is. Tyrese Halliburton over 40.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. And then we're also going to go Halliburton over 3.5 point threes made, as he's turning into four three-pointer nights like they're sticks of gum. He's buying sticks of gum to cost him a quarter a piece. So it's been really good on him. But we're going to take Halliburton over 40.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined, and then Halliburton over 3.5 point threes made as well. So hitting those 4 3-pointers in that one. Next game up, Bucks Bulls in Chicago. Milwaukee 8.5-point favorite. This Bulls team, I think, is about ready to lay down and lay over for everybody. 8.5-point line, 229 total. We were against the Bucks until they kind of got some things figured out. It seems like they're getting that direction, so we're going to ride the Bucks tonight. This is more probably a fade against the Bulls because they are absolute just trash. But Bucks minus 2.5 first quarter, Bucks minus 4.5 first half, and minus 8.5 for the game. And we have two player prop bets on Giannis over 11.5 rebounds, as that one's been cashing pretty steadily. And his par has dropped, so we'll go back to the par over 46.5 par. So one more time in that Bucks-Bulls game, Bucks minus 2.5 first quarter, minus 4.5 first half, minus 8.5 for the game. Giannis over 11.5 rebounds and over 46.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. Next game up, Spurs, Hawks. Spurs 7.5-point home dog. 248.5 total. That's a huge total, which means should be quite a bit of scoring in this matchup and not a lot of defense. We think there is going to be some defense, but it's only going to probably be by one guy, and that's Wembanyama over 1.5 blocks. And they continue to put it at 1.5. Yes, it's juicy. I think it was like around minus 155. Well worth the play, though, anytime we can get it. If he's going to hit this, 5 out of every 6 nights, this is a winner for season-long projections. So I assume they'll continue to move that line to 2.5 here before too long. But they're going to have to probably start it off at plus money, which maybe they don't want to do on the overside. But we are going to take Wemby over 1.5 blocks. We also are going back to the well on Trae Young over 2.5 3-pointers made. He ended at 2 the last game. Hit obviously 4 or 5 the game before that, 3 before that. I mean, he's consistently hitting this number. Some days, though, he does end at 2. But like I said, we'll consistently make money on this bet. We're just back to it again at Thunder. Like I said, Trae Young over 2.5 3-pointers made. And then, like I said, Wembanyama over 1.5 blocks in that Hawks-Spurs matchup for you later on tonight. Next game up, Thunder and the Lakers. Thunder somewhere around 5.5 to 6-point favorite. Total right around 233. Lakers back-to-back on the road and 4 games in the last 6 nights. I honestly thought this was going to catch up with them yesterday. I know it's going to catch up with them today. This will kind of be the end of the road trip. They're looking to get back home. And we definitely like the Thunder tonight. We're all in on this particular matchup. So we'll give you all the bets that we have on this Thunder game. So it's 5.5 at some joints. So if you do like the Thunder tonight, make sure you shop around and get the 5.5. But Thunder minus 1.5 first quarter, Thunder minus 3.5 first half, and Thunder minus 5.5 for the game. Lakers under the 114.5 team total. I just think they run out of gas tonight. Thunder over the 119.5 team total, as I think they're going to get out to a big lead and be shooting threes probably from all over the place. Chet Holmgren over 1.5 blocks. Holmgren over 1.5 turnovers. As we go back to those wells again, as those have been extremely profitable all season long. Holmgren over 27.5 par. Points, assists, rebounds combined, as he's really picked up the offensive production as well. And then SGA over 43.5 par, as we think SGA will dump in as 32, 6, and 5. As he normally does, like every day night. The guy is clockwork. He's money. Definitely an all-star, if not first-team All-NBA. So one more time in this Thunder-Laker game. Thunder minus 1.5 first quarter, minus 3.5 first half, and minus 5.5 for the game. Lakers under the 114.5 team total. Thunder over the 119.5 team total. Holmgren over 1.5 blocks. Holmgren over 1.5 turnovers. Holmgren over 27.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. And the same thing for SGA over 43.5 par in that particular matchup. Jazz, Timberwolves, we're definitely in on this matchup as well. Jazz coming off a back-to-back. A little bit more rest for the T-Wolves. Somewhere around 10.5, 11-point favorite. Don't know if Anthony Edwards is going to play. Did not see a player prop on him. That's the only scary thing going to this one. But the Jazz they're a below average team for sure. Like if the Jazz end up with 30 wins, that's a successful season, I think, with this roster construction they've got going on. But we do like the T-Wolves minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 6.5 first half, minus 10.5 for the game. And then we are going to take Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns over 26.5 points. This boils down to that the T-Wolves defense is legit and the Jazz are not. So it should be easy scoring on the T-Wolves side, and it's going to be constant struggles, I think, on the Jazz side. That's going to be the difference in the game. You should see a lot of easy baskets, I think, for the T-Wolves, but not so much for the Jazz. But T-Wolves minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 6.5 first half, minus 10.5 for the game. Karl Anthony Towns over 26.5 points. And there is going to be something to, that if AE's not playing, that is going to make a difference for sure. But he has AE's played extremely well. I just thought he was going to be maybe next stratosphere, like top 5 player this year. That kind of hasn't taken place yet. But he's been definitely their biggest weapon for the T-Wolves. So make sure you check that out, injury status-wise, if he's going to play tonight or not. Last game up on the schedule, Clippers at the Warriors. Clippers coming off a back-to-back. Warriors somewhere around 5.5, depending on where you find it. Total at 228. Warriors this is just a situational spot off the back-to-back nights for the Clippers. after they get a win yesterday against the Kings, then having to go up to San Francisco. But we do like the Warriors -1.5 first quarter, -2 first half, and -5 for the game. For some reason, I had the Warriors +5. Everybody and their grandmother would bet that, right? So it was Warriors -5. So Warriors -1.5 first quarter, -2 for the first half, and -5 for the game. Clippers under the 111.5 team total. Normally on back-to-back nights, they haven't been able to score on the second of the back-to-backs. So we'll take the under on that. And then we're going back to the Draymond Green well, over 22.5 par points, assists, rebounds combined. So one more time in that Warriors-Clippers game, Warriors -1.5 first quarter, -2 first half, -5 for the game. Clippers under 111.5 team total. And Draymond Green over 22.5 points, assists, rebounds combined. So that's what basically that will wrap up, excuse me, those games there. Next week is going to be the tournament games for the play-in tournament as we get down to the final 8 on looks like Monday and Tuesday. So we'll be looking at those. We'll be back here in another episode with the Thursday night plays. I will, if you do pay attention to all of our episodes, I will warn you there is a 500 unit play for Friday on Friday night college football. So make sure you do check out the Google Sheets, which I'm going to mention now as well. So at the end of this episode and end of every episode that we have, there is a link to the Google Sheets in the comment section. It's like docs.google.spreadsheet and then a bunch of other stuff right behind it. This is our ledger. This is all of our bets, how many units, what juice we got those at, what book we placed them at, and then obviously results once we get done with that. So do make sure you check that out. If you're just looking for the basketball bets, obviously that's in basketball 23-24, and then the football ones 23-24 are going to be there as well. So make sure you do take a look at that when you get some time. And as always, if you can subscribe and get notifications to the YouTube channel, so when we drop our bets, you get those first. Makes life really simple when you subscribe. Get those notifications turned on. You get a notification to your device that we dropped the video, and you can check that out. Also, it makes it a lot easier not to search through YouTube when subscribed, just right underneath your subscriptions tab. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.